There we go. Let me spotlight. And oh, why is my background blurred? Oh, there we go. Hi, everyone. Hello. Happy Monday. Thank you, Suzanne. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I lost a little bit of my sense of smell. um, so that has made things a little bit more difficult. But it's supposedly can take 2-3 weeks or so to come back, but I've noticed it's definitely affected like my eating. So a little bit of a dry cough here and there, probably because if I'm talking a lot. um and congestion is nowhere where it was, but it's there. um and it's just like this, like kind of like nausea, not very lack of appetite type of type of stuff. But I was really messed up. Both my tonsils were so swollen. That was terrible. It hurt. It hurt to even just like swallow. It was really bad. So no fun, no fun. um yeah, when I saw that positive test, I was like, it's like, of course. My luck, of course. But yeah, it's improving a lot. So and I did get fever and stuff, but it was like mostly during the night. So yeah, it was a rough one. It was a rough one. I think this is our fourth time getting COVID. Um in comparison to other times, I think it was probably on the weaker end, because we've had like worse. But yeah, it was, yeah. COVID's no joke. Um, there's definitely been a spike here in New York City, so masks again. And but yeah, and I think is just I went from like not going on the subway too. And Yeah, you're right, Suzanne. Yeah. Um, I've been doing a lot, and um so I've had a lot going on, and I've been, yeah. I think my immune system was like, haha. Um oh no, and Suzanne, and I'm so sorry that you're battling a head cold. Um yeah, no fun. I hope everyone's staying healthy. Yeah, it's been rough, but yeah, on the road to recovery. So, and yeah, trying to be more careful. So I'm wearing my mask, but right now we like restarted immunotherapy. So like this morning, I uh I was in immunotherapy, so then that means I have to go on the subway, and then that's a really risky thing. So this arm is so itchy right now. So for those that don't know, there's different types of immunotherapy. Right now, both Brian and I are receiving immunotherapy. So we both have a lot of hypersensitivities. I am basically allergic to the world. And so um it's to the therapy. I basically go and they give me a bunch of shots every week, so it's not fun. Um and sometimes you get a reaction, and so right now this arm is so itchy. I'm just kind of doing a squeeze. I'm doing a squeeze because yeah, it's so itchy. But it's supposed to slowly kind of desensitize my immune system, so that it doesn't go crazy and overreact to certain things, because that's what So I have like autoimmune stuff. And so my immune system, while it's not very good at fighting uh colds and stuff, it fights basically everything else. So I am also I am apparently very allergic to quite a few plants. And a lot of them weeds, what are considered weeds. Um and which I was pretty bummed about, but this side is all like plants and trees, and I haven't really been getting much of a reaction. So sometimes I might get like a slight itch and then it goes away. But the big ones right now are like the dust and molds and things like that. My body is very sensitive to that. Like we have air purifiers and stuff everywhere. And um, yeah, I think that's why I've always liked with the plants. It helps with the air quality. Um, and but that's what my body is really reacting to. So my arm is so itchy right now. Um, but yeah, so going through that every week right now. So it's no fun. Um, yes, Mary. I heard that if you throw cloves in a pot and boil it all day, it disinfects the air, and you can add cinnamon or anise for a nice scent. Throwing in some bay leaves would probably be good too. Yes, I literally have a pot of water right now on the stove with cinnamon and cloves. And yes, and sometimes I do throw in like some star anise in there too. Um, yeah. Yes, ice packs definitely would help. Yes, synth definitely. And Suzanne, I take a prescription for the itching that might help you. Oh yeah, sure. Let me know. They give me like the hydrocortisone cream to put on. But today is very itchy. They upped my dosage. They upped my dosage today. And so yeah. So I think my body is just like, no, 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 I do not like this. So yeah. So I feel very, very like it feels like almost like a mosquito bite. Um, what was really like not funny, kind of funny, not funny. Uh, so last night I went to turn off these grow lights, and I had just picked up um this little Apuntia, and it's what is the like a prickly, it's in the prickly pear family, and I had picked it up like a weekend ago, and I had it here, right here, and of course as I'm turning off the grow light uh last night, I end up hitting my arm against this here. And so the Apuntia goes to fall. And of course, I don't want the plant to fall. So I put my arm to stop it. And I got full just stabbed with so many Glockids. Um, and so here you go. You can probably see all these little red, you can kind of see the irritation. I tried to get a bunch of them out. For those of you that don't know, so Apuntia, there are other cacti that have Glockids too, but Apuntia especially. So it's a defense mechanism. So we when we think of cacti, we think of big needles, right? You think, ooh, ow, big needles. I think Apuntia are a little bit more nefarious. I love Apuntia. It's one of my favorite cacti. But uh Glockids are tiny. So they are kind of like splinters. So think very small. Um, and what they do is that they get into you very similarly to a splinter, and they cause a lot of irritation. It like sticks to you like a little hook. And you can get a lot at a time if you brush up against the cacti or fall into it or anything like that. Or in my case, have one fall on your arm. Um, and so they're these really, really teeny tiny ones. And so it's much more difficult to get them out. So Brian was helping with a flashlight and tweezers, and we were trying to get some of them out. The rest we got out using duct tape. So Brian had to put a piece of duct tape on my arm and then rip. And I still feel like there might be a couple in there that I just couldn't get out. So I woke up today with a little bit, it's a little bit of redness, and here you go. You can kind of see there's like some little dots. So it's like from here to here. I got hit with Glockids. Not fun, not fun. So be warned for any of you that have a Puntia, or if you're interested in collecting cacti, maybe avoid a Puntia. I really like Opuntia, so I kind of I it's not my first time dealing with Glockids, but I was like, oh, of course. My first instinct was to stop the plant from falling, and it happens to be the plant that's covered in Glockids. So it got me. It got me good. It's a good defense mechanism. So yeah, that so for folks that might not be familiar with the puntia, they are very lovely. They know they're known like prickly pears. They also call them like bunny ear cacti and things like that. They're a very adorable cacti, very easy to maintain, but be forewarned that that they do have glockids, and so this is something, um, especially if you have kids or pets, you want to be very, very careful, because it can get very, very, very itchy. Itchy. Yes. um, oh man. Since I've been getting allergy injections for about 47 years, tried not taking them for 2 years and everything got worse. So back to them, down to every week for 2 injections, doing better. Oh wow. Yeah, I was told with the immunotherapy that yeah, it will be a couple years. So a couple years, and then they slowly like taper you. So it goes from 1 week to like every 2 weeks, like over the years it'll go to like every 2 weeks to once a month. Um and that, yeah, but that it takes a couple years. So I'm in for the ride. Yeah. Since you're mothering nature, yeah. Um I didn't even think about it. I just saw the plant falling, and I shoved my arm to stop it, to like pin it. And of course, I realized as I was pulling the plant away from me, I said, this is not going to be fun, because I didn't feel it at first. You don't feel it until you really start to like tighten the skin and go like, oh, did I get them? And that's when they really, and as soon as you start pulling them out, it's no fun. It's no fun. No, no, not not at all. um I wasn't sure if I did show everyone, but yeah, a few weeks ago I did. This was like almost a month ago. Whoops, here we go. That I did find this guy also at Home Depot. Um and this is it's also well, now it's a Dracaena. I keep saying Sansevieria, but it is now a Dracaena. And so these guys are snake plants. And I have a wide variety of snake plants in our home. But this one was just super cool. This is a whale fin, and it was only 20 bucks. And so yeah, back when, gosh, I still see people selling them for a lot. There's one shop owner, I think he was selling them for like 50 or something, 50 or 60. But these used to go for like well over $100. And it's a very succulent plant. So it's like you can hear it. It's a very, very thick leaf, and they do put out pups, and then they just become really big leaves. It's a super cool Sansevieria though. I'm not very happy with the mix, but I want it to settle in before I do anything with it. But they sold it like this. So it's a little cashpo with the nursery pot. But look at the mix is very brown. Um, it looks like it's a mix of like peat with maybe cocoa coir. Um, just makes me a little nervous because this is one when it really dries. So right now it's super dry. I have to actually water these plants this week. So um, here we go. just to show you here we got the roots. But the issue with peat, specifically when it's in your mix, when it dries, it becomes like rock hard. Try not to drop this cash pill. I don't know if you could hear that. It's like some ASMR right now. Um, but um, yeah, it becomes what's called hydrophobic. So it becomes so dry that it starts to kind of repel water, but then when it does get wet, it holds on to moisture for a really long time. And so these types of plants, they don't want to be sitting in moisture for a really long time. It will start to cause them to rot at the base. So I wanted to let it dry because it was so soaked. It was soaked. Um, and so now it looks like it is fully dry. And I'm gonna see, I might remove some of that top soil and give it a water, and then yeah, might change it and try to remove some of the coco coir and put in some perlite um and some succulent soil just to give it some more drainage, because the all brown mix is very worrisome for this type of plant. But it does look like it has a beautiful root structure. Um, and it's not root bound yet. But yeah, it does look like it's missing a big chunk of soil. It's not in the pot. So, um, uh, yeah, George, this was about like 3 or 4 weeks ago, um, at Home Depot. So they are selling them now. They're selling quite a cool amount of plants now. I actually saw, I didn't buy it. I kind of regret that I didn't buy it. But I didn't buy a ficus they were selling. It's the is it umbellifera? Umbelliferata? It's like something umbrella, basically, but really gorgeous big leaves. They kind of remind me of like grape leaves or something. It's really beautiful big leaf. Um, and I had never seen big ones. I've seen folks selling little ones in plant shops and things like that, but these were a nice size. Um, and I almost took it, and then I was like, oh no, it's fine. And now I regret not grabbing them because they weren't there when I went over the weekend. Um, but yeah, a really, really good find. Ambalada. There you go. Thank you. Who's the grower? Yeah, so this one, Plainview Growers in Alamuchee, New Jersey. Is that how that's pronounced? I've never heard of that. Alamuchee? Alamuchee? Alamuchee. I'm gonna say Alamuchee. Um, Allamuchy, New Jersey, Plainview Growers. So, yeah, they had quite a few. So I'm happy I grabbed one of these. It was quarantining by my bookshelf for the last couple weeks, and then I moved it here. Um, it's absolutely beautiful. I'm very happy that that we found it. Let me turn this. There we go. But yeah, it's really, really gorgeous. And they do come in variegated varieties as well. So, um, keep an eye out. Maybe your local Lowe's um, or Home Depot will start carrying them. Brian, at the same day that I got that whale fin, Brian got this guy, and it's quarantining by the bookshelf, but we haven't moved it to its permanent home yet. But this gorgeous gloriosum. So this is a philodendron gloriosum. Um, for those that aren't familiar with gloriosum, it's a creeper. And so you can see it grows basically laterally. So it's growing this way. It kind of creeps along, and it is getting a new leaf there. But yeah, it's growing out of the pot. And so these tend to do really well in longer pots. So it's very cool. I love these. The pronounced vein is just so beautiful, gorgeous heart-shaped leaves. And then these are by Proven Winners. Leaf Joy. That's the Proven Winners line. Looks like it's by, yeah. So yeah. Let me see here. But yes, George, in regards to the potting mix, I will be changing that potting mix. Absolutely. So, uh, for that Wilfin, yeah, I am definitely changing the potting mix. Um, I'm gonna give it a good soak, and I'm gonna remove the top layer of that mix because it's buried a little too deep for my liking. And then yes, and then I will be adding in some perlite, maybe some succulent mix, and yeah, and it's not root bound yet, but it's definitely, you know, getting there. So once it's time to do like a full change, I will be completely like changing that mix. Um, Oh, Mary, what about an old-fashioned drawing salve for cactus needles? Yes, there are different salves. You can use even things like baking soda paste. I don't feel them anymore, but I know I didn't get them all. So it's just that little agitation. So I might be putting a baking soda paste later just in case there might be some trace ones left because I don't know if this little rash is just as a result of the ones that were there that were pulled out or if I missed a couple. um I did catch one that was on my finger this morning, so I guess when I was trying to wash some of them out, I got one in my finger. So yeah, I was like, all right, I might do a baking soda salve. And so that works really well. But you can do it with things like different types of clay as well. Um yeah, even the same things that folks might use like for mud face masks and things, that's very helpful in regards to this as well. So it just kind of pulls, it'll pull it out of the skin. Um, but yeah. Oh man, Synth, 5 different allergists. Holy moly. Whoa. Man, you too? Yeah, it's nuts, you know, and I really it's been a very odd thing with you know, a lot of folks are affected by allergies and um yeah, I mean, I grew up allergic to things like dust, um penicillin. I was allergic to penicillin since I was a baby. And then uh it was basically dust and penicillin. And then as a teenager, I developed an allergy to coconut, which is my worst allergy. So I go into anaphylaxis. So that means your throat starts to close up, um, and you get all swollen, so you can't breathe or anything like that. So it's very scary. Um, and yeah, the I didn't have any other like allergies like that until I hit 22. And I had gone to see an allergist because I noticed that every time I was eating, like my mom's cooking and same things I've eaten my entire life, I would get a little itchy and my gums would itch and my throat, and I'd feel like itchy in my ears, and it was very uncomfortable. And I was like, this is so weird, but it's like the same food I've been having all the time. And then that's when I learned that I had developed allergies to food that I ate every day. So, so, so it's been very difficult. You know, to food that you grew up on. So I'm allergic to everything from eggs, strawberries, um, peanuts, soy, sesame, sunflower seeds, um, gosh, yeah, rye, a lot of things, a lot of fruits, kiwi. Um, so yeah, so I have a lot of food allergies. Corn, if I didn't mention corn, onions. Um, and so it's made it very difficult to navigate food. So, um, yeah, it is definitely difficult to eat out. And there's so much cross contamination. And so even sometimes they'll be like, no, no, there's nothing in here. And then I get a little itchy, but thankfully it's, you know, it's a little itchiness. It's more of annoyance. The scary one is coconut. So, um, oh wow. Synth, I have not had a challenge test for penicillin. When I had it as a child, I went into anaphylaxis. Um, and then yeah, and then that was it. They just never gave it to me again because I turned blue. Um, and then yeah. So I haven't tried it. I mean I should, I guess, just to see. Um, I did end up being allergic to vancomycin. Um, I had gotten an infection after a medical procedure, and they gave me vancomycin, and yeah, turned out I was allergic to that. So, but what hurt me, I think, was the plant ones. So like I found out I was allergic to mugwort pollen, um, I think some oaks, some birches, and I love birches, I love oaks. I collect different types of acorns, which are the seeds for oaks. Um, yeah, and oh, pine, and I love pine. And yes, pine tar, it is very good as a drawing salve, and I have some pine. And oh man, no, and I collect pine cones. I mean, plants are a big part of my life. So I was sad to see that I was allergic to a couple of them. So um but it looks like it's mostly pollen. But which is so weird because I don't have, well, I didn't think I had seasonal allergies. So I don't sneeze in like the spring and the fall. I don't get like that. So I thought it was very odd, but it looks like I'm not having a physical reaction, but it is showing up in my blood. So I'm having like internal inflammation, which I didn't know was a thing. I didn't know that you could not have like a physical reaction to an allergen, but you can have an internal one. And so that's what happens. Oh no. And oh, me too. And grass, different types of grasses. Me too. Oh, and corn leaves. Yeah. Sorry. So sorry. Oh, Adeline, do you remember oh yes, about your Christmas oh, the red poinsettia. It's so big and the branches oh are falling every which way. I've put ties around it gently so it would not get hurt. Is it okay to trim it back to where the cloth ties are so it can continue to grow? Oh yes. And it's still getting branches coming out now even in the winter. Oh yeah, absolutely. You can absolutely trim it back if need be. Just make sure you wear gloves. So poinsettias are a euphorbia. So they're euphorbia, I think it's pulcherissima or pulcherima. It might be pulcherissima. Um, but they are a euphorbia. And so euphorbia have that white latex. It's like a milky sap. And that can be very irritating to the skin. So you can absolutely cut it back, but just be wary. You should wear gloves just in case so that you don't accidentally get some on your skin, and it could cause a rash. You wouldn't want to get it in your mouth or in your eye. I actually recently watched a video of someone was cutting, I think, ghost peppers, and he was wearing gloves. He was trying to be safe. And he was cutting, he was talking, and then he had just cut them and he was talking about it, and then he rubbed his eye just out of habit. He had something in his eye, I guess. So he just went like this with the gloves on. And I was like, that poor man. So, so if you're going to ever work with your euphorbias, you're going to trim them, cut them in any way, just keep that in mind. that you don't want to accidentally touch your mouth or rub your eyes. I haven't seen it happen with any. I haven't seen, I mean, any like kind of any types of articles or media about um houseplant varieties causing blindness, but I did see a few papers on wild type varieties that grow in Africa that have caused blindness from like kids playing. And they I think there was one case study of kids were playing soccer and they hit a big thicket of euphorbia, and they got their ball out, but in the process, they had damaged the plant. So they got some of the sap on their hands and I guess on the ball, and there were some kids who rubbed their eyes, and they ended up having damage to their sight as a result. So just yeah, be wary of that. Um, it can be um, it can be a very unfortunate like effect of it. And I love euphorbia. And I'm thinking of that actually. I found a dragon bones um a few weekends ago as well. And I have it next to my western window, and I was like, I don't think I showed them. Um, this was also a Home Depot find, and so this is the dragon bones. It is a variegated type of euphorbia, so it's really beautiful. Also, don't like the mix, but I'm letting it, get used to the home before I mess with it. But you could just see it's very barky. It looks like it's also kind of like that kind of cocoa coir peat with like wood chips kind of mix. And I really like the pot because it looks like a leaf, like the veins of a leaf. Really, really beautiful. But yeah, there's three in here. And here's a cool example too, is euphorbia. Unlike cacti, I think there's only one or two species of cacti that actually make what we would consider true leaves. So cacti, their leaves are modified to be needles. So cacti needles are technically leaves. They're modified leaves. Um, but with euphorbia, so they are not a true cactus, even though people call them cacti. They're often called like African milk cactus because of that white sap, but they're not a true cactus. But they actually have thorns, and they have true thorns. So here along the side, not all euphorbia have thorns, but they actually do get leaves as well. So you can see the leaves up top here. So they actually do get leaves. So these are absolutely beautiful. And I saw it and I had to scoop it up because these are still selling. Uh, they're more expensive. So even like one piece like this might be about $30. And so this one was like $18.99, I think, or $19.99. So like $20, but there's three in here. Yeah, um so yeah. So it's a very cool succulent if you I really do recommend euphorbia. It's just it's one of those plants you do have to be a little bit more careful with if you do have pets because it is toxic. Um, and children, in case they were to break it off and then get, their skin irritated. But euphorbia, they just come in so many. The morphology across that genus, I just love it so much. So I have so many different types of euphorbia. And I think even, oh, let me put this one back and then I can show you. Um, but even here, I have a Medusa. So this is a type of euphorbia. This is a little Medusa. And so this will actually start to kind of cascade downwards. So it's still a baby. So it's growing upwards right now. And then what do I have? Here. The Euphorbia obesa. So this one doesn't have any thorns and it looks more like a softball. And it does have little baby here and it had been flowering. So that's that dried little, was a flower. But yeah, so they come in so many different shapes and sizes. And then I have, let me see here. I have some different ones up there as well. So, and then I have a bunch in our bedroom. So I love euphorbia. I have a bunch in my western window. So yeah, I've been collecting them for a while. And I think, oh, and our biggest one is this one, which is also known as the euphorbia. I think they call them, one of the common names is the chocolate chip. So look at this monster here. Those thorns are no joke. Huge, very heavy. um Absolutely beautiful. I really like this group of plants. So I that's a good one. Mother Nature must have been drunk when she designed them. Yes, yes. They really it's really interesting. There are also like a different, oh man, I really hope I can find it again. I think it was the platyclada. I think it was platyclada. And it looked like a dead stick. And I had it for so long. I had it for years. And I had gotten it as a cutting. It was like that big, and it was like this big now. And I loved that plant so much. And I don't know. I don't know what happened. I ended up losing a bunch of plants around that time. And so I don't know if it was like the temperature change or something like that, but I think it was like in the fall that I lost it. But that one was like my favorite. But there's so many different types. I have stenocladas, which are like more spiky. Um, yeah. So I'll grab that last one just to show you what I mean by the morphology is so different from euphorbia to euphorbia type. Um, so like this one. Oh yeah, and these as well. Here's a big euphorbia. You might know I think it's Tricoli, Euphorbia tricoli, which is the fire sticks. So, and these have leaves as well. So very smooth, right? Doesn't look like a euphorbia, you wouldn't think compared to the ones I just showed, right? And then this is the stenoclada. So it's also pretty smooth. It doesn't have like the typical thorns or anything. It just has more spikes kind of, but these are like the stems themselves. But otherwise pretty smooth. Um yeah, I have two of these. Oh, little spider. Nope. Um but yeah, they they come it's just amazing. So every time I find a different type of euphorbia, I almost always grab it because I'm like, I don't have that one yet. So it's like collecting Pokemon. Yeah, Euphorbia is has my heart. Definitely has my heart. They're just such a neat group of plants. So if any of you are leaning towards getting into succulents and you don't mind a slightly risky toxic type of yeah, type of succulent, um you should try that. um Oh, Sharon, I have lately seen pieces of fire. Oh, the sticks of fire broken off and laying on the sidewalk. Can I just pick them up and replant them, or is there something about them that I'm not aware of? Yeah, they can be propagated by cuttings, absolutely. Um, so if you're seeing them lately, I wonder if someone might have had maybe moved a plant. I have been seeing them here in New York City during the summer. There were quite a few establishments that actually had big ones outside. But then as soon as it starts getting cold, they aren't very cold hardy. They can deal with cold temperatures, but not like freezing. So I mean, there are certain species of euphorbia that are cold tolerant, because there are like different species occurring in different types of habitats. And so some species can, but a lot of the houseplant species, not necessarily. So, but yeah, I saw like a lot of folks. So it could be that someone was moving one. Um, and so you end up hitting the jackpot with some pieces. Um, yeah, and then you can enjoy them. Absolutely. And oh, Synth, living where cacti do naturally, they'd lose too much moisture, um, wouldn't they, if they had true leaves? Well, yes, well, that's one of the adaptations, definitely. So you see that also in really hot places and really cold places. You see that plants end up adapting their leaves to be much smaller. So you see that in the cold, with a lot of like conifers, for instance. So their leaves are much thinner, very needle like, right? Much thinner. They have a very thick kind of coating on top of them too. The cuticle is very thick, and then that helps one not lose as much, because there's not much surface area, so they don't lose as much moisture. It helps also in areas that are very high wind, because that can also cause dehydration. So much smaller. And yes, and in terms of yeah, so moisture loss, also with depending also with the sun, again, moisture loss. It helps against moisture loss. So that happens in really cold places and in hot places too. so so yeah. There, of course, like you see in places that aren't like desert, but more hot, like tropical, there you will see even leaves that are broader but might have a like that glossiness to them. Like if you think kind of like citrus plants, right? They also have a buildup of a lot of cuticle as well, so that waxy substance on the leaves, that also is to protect them from getting burned and from moisture loss and things. So yeah, the plants will definitely adapt um, in areas like that. Um, oh, um, oh, here we go, Barbara. I love these as you do, and yes, our skin gets stuck. Yes, yeah, and our stick stuck sometimes. Oh yeah, that comes with the territory. So I have to repot some from longtime pots. Kind of afraid to disturb them. Some are in a plastic, some in ceramic. Do they have a preference? Oh, yes. So in terms of a lot of the um, more arid climate type of succulents and things like euphorbias, um, so yeah, it can get very it is a very precarious thing to want to repot them. I have seen folks use things even like wrapping like newspaper around them so that they kind of like it's almost like they make a bouquet, so that that protects you a little bit. I've seen folks even use towels as well to kind of help them with the transfer. Um, but what's it called? In terms of like plastic or ceramic, I mean, I would advise against ceramic, um, only because it's a little bit more difficult uh, to really to kind of regulate the drying. And so unless some folks are just really good at knowing off the top of their heads how much, that plant needs, right? How much water. The ceramic will retain moisture a little more than, let's say, a plastic that has a lot of drainage holes, or especially a lot more than terracotta. So terracotta will wick water away from the soil as the soil starts to dry. It kind of releases water back in, but then it also has a lot of air circulation happening, so it's very porous, so it dries out really fast. So that's why it tends to be like preferred for plants that don't like wet feet, because but then you have to keep up drying, you have to keep up watering it because it's drying at a really fast rate. So some folks are like, I do not want to deal with that. So plastic is fine. Also, if it does retain slightly more moisture, of course. Um, but with like the nursery pots and things, um, as long as you're kind of just making sure that you're letting them dry out before watering, it should be fine. If you do have a
I'm
ceramic,
not afraid. Yeah, I'm not afraid of holding the cactus. That's a long time. I used to just use 2 spoons
oh, really?
as because I don't own tongs. And then I graduated to, I think, shirt cardboard
Nice.
and or something else like if you had paper towel rolls, which I don't have, and just hold it with that. Not afraid. That's not even that's a given. I just love them. But the plants that have done so well in the pots, but I know that they should really be up to little. I kind of am afraid to disturb them, even though they look so good that I don't want to disturb them. But it's been time, that they have to grow. So that's more the issue. But yeah, great. You're great. Stay great.
Definitely show us when you do repot them.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, George. The price of spineless or thornless Euphorbia abducuri, from Yemeni Island, will come down. Always wanted one. Ooh, I need to look up. I don't know that species. Um, Oh, and Barbara, I saw a whale fin for 78. My gosh. I was actually telling Brian, so let me know if any of you, if this is
Yes,
even of
yes.
interest. But
I heard you. You said Home Depot. I heard that.
yes, yeah. And I was talking to Brian and I was saying, I have a lot of like students that are from areas where I'm going, oh, I found this for like $10 at Home Depot. And they're like, what are you talking about? That's nowhere, like they don't offer that at my Home Depot. And so I was saying to Brian, like maybe we should do a thing where we could organize um like a buy day or something where I will go shopping. And so people will tell me their wish list. So what are you guys looking for? What are
Oh,
your,
super.
yeah, okay, cool. So I'll organize that. And so folks can, get, give me your plant lists, like what you want, what should I be looking for? What are your budgets? And so then what we could do is I can just physically go get them, and you guys can, like Venmo me or something, and then I'll purchase them, give you the receipt and everything. But that so that I can, and then we can ship them out to you so that you guys can actually get the plants because I was like, oh man, I didn't realize like, yeah, some like the whale fins, they're selling them for $20 now. 78. Yeah, that's how they were selling them. And I know that there's a plant shop by us who just sold a variegated one for like 50 or 60, I think. Um, and I think even he has like a really big one that he has on the counter that is listed for 80 and it's been that same price. But it is big. It's like maybe twice as big as that one. So it's kind of understandable. But just that I've been seeing so many whale fins now for like 20 bucks. Um, the same with like tortums, philodendron tortums are now going for like 30 bucks. There's a lot of plants here that are going super, super cheap. And I was like, yeah, maybe we should kind of do something where we can help connect, my students with these plants, because if it's cheaper here, like I'm happy to, pack them up for people, and I'll be your proxy. So I will just go to the shop, and I could like do it live and stuff. I could hop on live, and then folks can pick out which ones they want, and I can just be your counterpart. Yeah. Yes, Alicia, yeah, absolutely. So all the in the reminder emails, there is a little thing that says, "Do you want to watch the replays?" And so the replays are indeed in there. I can let me hold on one second. Um, Let me put here the link to the replays. Hold on one second. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Oh, and I did want to look up that euphorbia. So, whoa, that looks so cool. I'll show you that in 2 seconds. Here we go. Ba, ba, ba. Also, so that all of you know, if you are here in the city, I have been, what's it called? Going through our gardening supplies. And so, um, what I've been trying to do is, um, I have a lot of stuff, like a bunch of terracotta. I have nursery pots and things like that, that I am not currently using, and so I've been trying to give them out to any houseplant lovers um, that might need them. So um, I'll put together like another bunch, and I'll post them up, and I'll also share it in the email. Um, so if anybody is here in New York City and is interested, then yeah, I can share that with you. It's free. Um, so it's just, yeah, I've been going through our stuff, and then I have like a lot of ceramic pots, for instance, and I have rollout bins under the bed with all different types of like ceramic pots and things. And I really ended up going to a lot of white. So if you've noticed, a lot of our pots, are now like white. I guess I ended up going into that aesthetic with the with the plants. It's a lot of like green and whites. And so now I have a bunch of ceramics that I've collected over the years, but like reds and blues and like, and all these brighter colors, and that are beautiful, but I'm like, it's not really my style anymore. And I want them to have a good home. So I'll post them in case anybody wants free ceramics, free ceramic pots and things. I'm gonna be going through those. Um, yeah, and let me see. Oh, and here, so what George was sharing. So let me put share screen so everyone can see. So I think I have seen this euphorbia before. This is absolutely beautiful. I really do love that kind of gray. I it's very odd, but I like plants that look like they're not alive. That have that like gray, almost like cement or stone type of look to them, where they don't even look like a living plant. It's just so interesting to me, especially like that kind of gray coloration. It's absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, there's some really, really cool euphorbia out there. Oh man, I hope that this one becomes more accessible because oof, that would be absolutely gorgeous. And the one that I was mentioning, I think it's platyclada. Platyclada, was it? Yeah, I think it was platyclada. This one. So I had it for a few years. I started it from a rootless little cutting. It was a teeny tiny little cutting. Um, and that really that hurt to lose this plant. Um, I was actually, and it has that gray color to it. There you go. You can really see it. It also under the grow light, it was getting this like purple kind of tinge to it, like a little blush to it. Really beautiful. Again, it looks like a dead stick. And I don't know why I find that so attractive. It's such a cool looking plant. I think I love plants that look like aliens, I guess. They look a little odd. They don't look like what you would think of when you think of a house plant. And I think that's what it is. I think it's just an oddball plant. And so yeah, I definitely have fallen in love with these odd ones. Um, Known as the Halloween or death plant. I hadn't heard of that. I have heard of it called was it dead sticks or dead plant or stick plant, something like that. Like I've heard it referred to like that, but not the Halloween or just the death plant. I hadn't heard of that. Oh, so Tanya says there's a Facebook group called the Big Box Plant Watch that shares unusual plant species finds in the US in stores like Home Depot and Walmart. That's wonderful. Um, oh, I need to join that Facebook group because yeah, seeing things like Euphorbia dragon bones that I'd never expected to see that in a Home Depot. Um, like the whale fins, I saw whale fins in Home Depot about I want to say like 5 years ago. They were there for a very short time and I remember everyone was freaking out. But the problem is that they were selling them with a pack of chalk. So they were selling them because it was for children to draw on them. So they were selling them as something like the chalkboard plant. Like it literally, I'm not like this is true. I have to find out if I think I took pictures. So but they were literally selling them and it had a little what are they called? Little tag. And it was saying like, use the chalk, draw on me. And it was being sold for folks to draw um on the plant. And it was like being marketed for kids. I also saw around that time I also saw them selling um small succulents like euphorbia, aloes, um uh gasterias as well, and they were selling them with the plant would come with this little plastic container with like different paints and a little paintbrush, and they were saying for kids like to paint the plant as well. So I don't know why that was a thing um a few years ago was hey, let's draw and paint on plants. um but I haven't seen them since like that. But I mean, I have seen painted plants, of course, but not ones that come with maybe they got backlash for it. Um, but yeah, I was inviting that. That was the last time I saw whale fins. like the only other time I saw whale fins in Home Depot. Um, Now a bunch of really cool ficus are showing up in Home Depot, and a bunch of different types of philodendrons. So there are so many different types of philodendrons now. They're carrying mayois, um, gloriosums, the jungle boogies, which kind of look like the rings of fire, but without the variegation. I think it's the same. It's the same plant, just without the variegation. Um, gosh, oh, brandies. A lot of philodendron brandies, sorderoys as well. Yeah, a lot. A lot of really cool philodendron species are being carried. And yeah, and then over the last like 2 years or so, they started expanding their sansevierias. Well, they're dracaenas, but they're snake plants. And so I've been collecting all these different types of snake plants over the years, and I've been collecting all the little ones that they put out, even if I have doubles. Like some of them I have as a bigger plant, but I love the little ones, and so I think I even have like a couple here that I've yeah. These are all different types of snake plants. This really beautiful variegated one. This one's really cool. I really just love the shape of this. And this one is actually really sharp. And then this one is really neat as well. So there's some also different morphology, as you can see. The shapes are totally different. Um, and recently, I think I did show everyone, I found this when I went to Nellie's, which is a different type of Sansevieria. I think this is the Cleopatra. Also very succulent. So this is, this is like the shape. This doesn't bend. Um, Really, really pretty. I love it. It has that white, but then also like a red tinge around it. Really beautiful plant. But this is also a snake plant. So this is this is just a display pot. It's in a nursery pot in there. But I have a bigger one that is called the copper tone of which is also a Sansevieria. This one I've had for a few years. And this is a Sansevieria as well. Well, I keep saying Sansevieria, but I know they have been reclassified to Dracaena, but also like this is the shape. So this doesn't really, they're just, that's how they are. Like that's how they are. It's a really weird plant. But I really like it so much. And this is the baby actually. So this leaf here is a pup, and this is the mother plant. Um, Super cool, but a lot darker. It has that really gray wash to it. Really cool, odd looking plant. So yeah, you can see uh my interests reflected in the weird ones. But I collect snake plants, euphorbias. I have a few species of Ripsalis as well, which is a jungle cacti. Um, yeah, I have a lot of different types of Corsulas as well, and a lot of different types of Kalanchoes. But it's a lot of succulents. We have many more succulents than we do. Um, we have a lot of aroids. I think that it's really our home is invaded by it's succulents, which is like the umbrella for like cacti and other stem succulents like euphorbia, and then and then a lot of aroids. So we have a lot of like epiprenums and which are like pothos and scindapsus and philodendrons and anthuriums, alocasias. So yeah. Oh, George, whale fin is super easy to propagate by cutting, and the variegation doesn't hold by vegetative propagation. Grab the one if you really like the color and pattern, and be aware of the scam. There is a species with big leaves. Oh, the Sansevieria grandis. Ooh, I did not know that. Um, yeah, the variegated ones, I mean, they do, the whale fins, they do look very, very pretty. Um, it is tempting. If I see them maybe sold at Home Depot for a slightly cheaper, I might grab it. I might grab it because it is a very, very pretty specimen to have, definitely. Um, Yes, yes. And George also mentioned convergent evolution. Exactly. That the euphorbia has spines. The spines of the euphorbia are born on the ridges on spine shields, similar to the areole of the cactus. Yes. So convergent evolution, for folks that don't know, so it's when two different, it can be plants, animals, basically will uh, develop a very similar mechanism. Whether it could be a defense mechanism, it could even just be like a shape, like a morphological type of aspect. So it can be so many different types of things, but basically they look very similar, but they're not related in any way. It's just that they both kind of came to they're evolutionarily came to the same conclusion, right? So they both are adapting, exactly, Suzanne. They're both adapting to their environment, and they essentially figured out the same cheat code. You can think of it like that. And so yeah, they both figured out, spines, needles, this works. Um, and this can happen yeah, across many different things. So plants and animals as well. So yeah, very, very, very similar. Um, Oh, shipping will kill the savings, Suzanne says. Yeah, I mean, Brian, I can actually see. So, Brian used to have a shipping business. Um, and so I can definitely see, if we'd be able to do like flat rate or things like that. Um, yeah, but I want to kind of see what would be the logistics and if we would be able to do that. And I'd love to help folks you know, get some plants. I would just be like the middleman. So help you get your plants. Um, yeah. Yes, ship all over the world. Yes, exactly. And George says whale fin should not be higher than $40 for one fin. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, they do. Oh, Synth asks, what happens when you run out of room in your apartment for your weekly new plants you buy? You too buy, yes. Um, oh yeah, no, we've definitely slowed down in terms of our plant purchases. But Brian, actually, we just set up like a tank and that Brian has now for his plants. So we're just kind of and we've been getting rid of a bunch of just stuff like we were going through our closets and just yeah, purging. And I had a closet in our office, for instance, that I hadn't looked in that closet in a few years. And and what we found in there was like boxes of like brand new office supplies. So I ended up giving a bunch to a teacher, and she came to pick them up because I said I was like I have some binders. I literally had like a bunch of binders. I had like folders, unused notebooks, a bunch of like the lined college ruled like paper, but with the holes that you put in binders. I had a bunch of just stuff like that, and I was like, I don't use any of this. Like I use I keep a couple notebooks but mostly I use my iPad and I write with my Apple Pencil, so I'm not creating so much paper waste. But I had all this perfectly good stuff. And I was like, is there any like teachers or, folks that have kids of school age? And so yeah, we were getting rid of a bunch of stuff. And then I said, well, then that now the closet was open, so I was able to put away some stuff. Like I have like this old typewriter that was taking up space on my shelf, and so then yeah, I was like, oh, I have, and then I put plants there. So yeah, we end up making the space, get some stuff out, but we definitely slimmed down. So we've very much calmed down in our plant purchases. uh we've hit a nice stable spot, so now it's more like if I see something really cool, I'll grab it. But yeah, it's been like maybe like one every other week, maybe something like that. So it's definitely not as much. And in terms of like the philodendrons and stuff like that, like Brian got a few, I think I had shown you a couple weeks ago. But he's getting cuttings, so starting small. But yeah, no, we definitely calmed down. So we're trying not to run out of room. Trying not to. Let me see here. Yeah, just trying, just trying. Oh, Alicia, sorry, I hadn't seen your message here about developing a bunch of allergies in Florida. Oh, interesting. Yeah, and I found out too that with humidity and things like that, that the humidity can actually, I thought that the humidity would make pollen allergies less. I thought maybe because of like the weight, maybe it would kind of keep pollen not as, like I didn't think it would allow pollen to move that quickly through the air, like if there's so much moisture in the air. But no, apparently, when it's very humid, it increases sensitivity to pollen, which I didn't know. So yeah, um, yes, yes, and bad diet saturated with sugar. Oh, definitely. Yeah, so a lot of inflammatory foods. The issue with that too, and so this is something to my allergist explained to me, that when you're eating things that are very can be very inflammatory, even things that have like a lot of histamine and things like that, what happens is that it kind of um, makes your body reach your like inflammation threshold, if you want to put it that way. And so that when you do end up coming into contact with something that you might be even slightly allergic to, sometimes it can cause you to have more of a reaction because your body was already kind of close to that line. And so it can only deal with so much. And so it can sometimes make allergies react even worse. Yeah. Suzanne, you need a home with a greenhouse. I do. I absolutely do. Brian was actually last night, he was showing me some houses on Zillow. And sometimes we go down the Zillow rabbit hole. Um, and there's some really beautiful, beautiful houses that have, that's, I would love that, to have like those rooms that are like all glass. Um, and I would definitely put like a seating area out there, uh, maybe like a little nook or something, and then just have it full of plants. I actually read this last week a really horrible Reddit story that broke my heart. Um, so it was a woman who has been collecting plants for many years. She comes from like a family that really loved plants. And so she even had ivy that her grandmother, I don't think it was her great grandmother, I think it was her grandmother, um, who gifted her a piece of her ivy, and she had passed. So she had been keeping that ivy alive. And she had basically like a glass room um in the back of the house where she had all her plants. Um and her boyfriend, they got into an argument, and I guess he wanted to hurt her. So he had gotten a new truck and he backed up into the room and took all of her plants and threw them in his truck, including her grandmother's ivy, and threw them into a pond and didn't say anything. So when she woke up, she discovered it. And that's horrible. I don't even, we were both like agape. Like our mouths were just like, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. That is, oh my God. Um, yeah. That was a horrible, horrible story. It brought us both down. We were just like, what? Why would that occur to someone? To do that? Um, no. And then Brian was reflecting on how he caught the plant bug. And that, now that he's been collecting his own plants for a few years, um, he said he always saw like, oh yeah, um, Suzanne said I'd be finding a diver to go after them. Oh yeah, oh absolutely. I was telling Brian, I was like, I'd be in that pond pulling those plants out. Because if it's just the pond, they might be a little oversaturated, but maybe you could still, take them out, maybe propagate them or something like that, right? If only, if only. Um, but yeah, no, Brian was saying that, he knew always that, oh, Jocelyn is into plants and animals. Um, and so it was always something like, oh, cool, that she's into that. But then when he started, collecting and we got our pets together and things, that it changes, it changes how you view it. And he was like, no, he can't even imagine. Oh my gosh. Um, geez. Yeah, it's really exactly, yeah. So T is saying, yeah, that he really knew how to hurt her. Yeah, that was horrible. And um gosh. And then another story came up like right after that, and it was a terrarium that a woman kept with her mom. Her and her mom made it like 15 years ago. Um, and then she had to go away on a work trip or something for a few days. And you don't water it, right? It's like in 15 years, she'd only opened it 4 times to add only a couple of tablespoons of water. And it's like a self-enclosed ecosystem, which is really cool. I'd love to create something like that. I do have bioactive terrariums, but they're like tanks with a lot of ventilation, so they dry out, so I have to stay on top of watering them. But those like globes, like I would really love to get like a bio orb or something like that. Those are a little pricey. I saw one recently it was like in December. um I saw one at a show, and I was like, oh, like seriously, it makes me even want it more. The bio orb. But yeah, it's like $300 or $400, so it's very pricey. But yeah, in the story, she also had this. She was very attentive of it, and her partner, I guess, was upset that she was traveling and dumped a bunch of water into it and drowned the entire terrarium. So when she got back, everything was rotten and molded, and it's just, don't hurt the plants. If you're like, just if talk, communicate with your partners. My gosh. Um, yeah, I don't know why folks are don't go after, like, that's so, yeah. So no, 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 no. It's yeah. Sorry. It was a very it's a bit downer. But we were just both, Brian and I were both just like in shock. Um so yeah, I don't gotta shake that off. It's so sad. And especially when you grow up, you grow your collection to a certain size. It hurts when you lose a plant. Geez, we the last big loss was with our we had thrips. Oh my gosh. And yeah, we lost quite a few plants. We lost like a little over a dozen. I think we lost like 16 total. And that was a big hit. So uh it hurts. It really does. Um, yeah, it's you really this is a hobby that is very close to, folks' hearts. And so um I'm happy that, folks are um yeah, we can come together and enjoy that love for the plants. And so um yeah, gosh. Um yeah, and now also we're approaching, it's gonna be seed planting weather soon. Um so definitely look. There are also like native plant societies and things. So if anyone is able to even give back um to their local ecosystem and are able to plant some native species, look into that. Spread the plant love. Um, and see. There's also places like here in the US, there's United Plant Savers. You can actually get seeds from them. And I think they only make you pay for shipping. And you can actually plant a bunch of different types of native species. So spread it, spread the plants. Oh, Suzanne, I have my grandmother's urn, but lost the Joseph's coat plant. Oh man. Yeah. There's a lot of plants like that, and where folks will get them, right? In in remembrance, or you get them even at these type like a funeral or memorial event. Um and those, oh man, yeah, those definitely, whew, if something happens to those plants, right? But Joseph's coat is very cool. I've had Joseph's coat. I think the last one I had, it just got I tried it here um under the grow light, and it started to get really etiolated. Um but then I moved it to the western window, and then it started to get burned. So um I don't know. I might try Joseph's coat again. I might try it again. Because it is a very cool plant. Let's see here for folks that might not. Oh yeah, because it is a so is the Joseph's coat you're referring to, is it the cactus? Because that's the one I was thinking of. So Joseph's coat, because it looks like there's actually flowers called Joseph's coat, which I didn't know about that. That's the thing with common names. But yeah, this is the one I had, the variegated Joseph's coat, also in Apuntia. Yeah, it looked like that. And it just got severely etiolated. Um, and then I don't know. I said, okay, let me try. Maybe the western window, maybe it just needs like better all around light. I don't know. And then it got burnt. So I don't know. But I'm gonna try it again. It's a very cool looking cactus, definitely. Ah, no, more like an ivy, and it was variegated. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So let's try. Oh, is it this one? So it looks like, oh, there we go. I've heard of this genus. Oh, yes, Alternanthera. Alternanthera. I have heard of this plant, but I did not know that it also goes, huh. Yes, George. Yes. Yep. And I thought that because my western window is obstructed, so it's a courtyard, and so a lot of my euphorbia, I have variegated agave in that window. I have some more other types of variegated euphorbia there. Um, so I thought maybe it would be a little happier, and it was not. It was not. So um it did not. It did not like it. Yeah, no, I have my variegated agave there, and yeah, and I have, yeah, my variegated, oh, and I have my Ceropigia. I have my string of hearts, the variegata, and they're all happy there. So I was like, oh, maybe, but no, it didn't work. Oh, Suzanne, it's a Tradescantia. Oh, okay. Yeah, Tradescantia, I've only with Tradescantia, they always end up getting super leggy. I've tried cuttings, and I was able to keep Tradescantia's cuttings for years in our bathroom. Um, I had them for a really long time, and I I don't think I have any left in there. I did put there was one I did put in the bathroom. It was one of the plants that got affected by thrips. It was a Monstera subpinnata, and it makes these leaves that are very fenestrated, and I put it kind of looks like a little Monstera leaf, and it was a stick because the thrips destroyed the leaves, and so it was just the stick. And so I said, hey, let me, I had some tubes open, and I threw that one in there, and it came out with a big leaf, and it's still putting out more. So um yeah, no, and so I really don't know why the Tridescantia. But yeah, Tradescantias, I mean, they're so prolific. When we were in Costa Rica, they call Tradescantia in Costa Rica, especially the Zebrina, they call it cucaracha, because it spreads so much there. It's like a carpet. I wonder if I think I let me see here. I think, oh yeah. I'm looking at I'm looking for some pictures of the plants in Costa Rica, and then this one came up. So this is my mom, and she was standing next to, I was trying to tell her to stand next to it so that I could show like the size. This is the Aristolochia grandiflora, I believe. I don't think it's grandiflua. I think it's grandiflora. But it's a Dutchman's pipe, and the flower is huge. It's huge. These are ginormous. Um, Let me see here. It was 20 here. No, here we go. Yeah, and they call it, we stopped by my cousin's house, and she had so much in her yard. I think I took a picture of it. That was such a cool trip. I'm just looking here at the, it's very cool. I can see all these all the plant pictures. Oh yes, we went to this restaurant, um, and they had these huge, huge, huge plants. Um, that's a Xanthosoma lindenii, I believe. They had so many cool plants, and then this was like a huge anthurium in a pot. Huge, huge, a bird's nest anthurium. Oh yeah, and they had a bunch of snake plants as well in front of the restaurant. Um, just skim a few more seconds. I really thought I had taken a picture. It's so beautiful there. Let's see here. Not seeing it. I'm seeing a bunch of pictures of me picking up insects. Um, um, no, I'll try to find it for next week because I am not seeing it. Some really fun memories here though. Oh man. I need to do like a whole little like a video compilation. Here there's an example of some dragon fruit cacti. So this is on a tree. So you can see how it grows. Similarly, think like ivy or like poison ivy or English ivy. Just it literally clings to the side of the, or if you even think pothos or monstera, it clings to the side of the tree and it just uses it as scaffolding and just grows right, right up there. Um, super, super cool. Here we go. So this was interesting too because this was a strangler fig. So this was a ficus. Oh, there we go. It was a live photo. um but this was a strangler fig that was wrapped around another tree. Um so strangler figs are really interesting and they use other trees as scaffolding. And so usually the mother tree, when she will drop her seedlings, they will land on trees underneath her in the canopy and then they start growing. And it's kind of like, think of it literally like an octopus or something. It just starts to spread and envelops the tree. It literally it strangles the tree. So they had the parks department there, they had been trying to cut those big sections of those trunks to hopefully allow for the trees that they were trying to kill to survive, and then kill the actual fig itself. But it's a very difficult um plant to get rid of because yeah, a lot of the times the big components of the tree are up higher, and what you're really getting at the bottom are like stilt roots that are more like for support. um but they are still, they're growing pretty fine, and you can cut big chunks of them and they'll still survive. So whew, yeah. Oh yes, Suzanne. Yes. It was probably then the Zabrina. Um, let me see the Pradiscantia Zabrina. Let me see. It might have been this one. Was it this one? Yeah, these are the ones that in Costa Rica they they refer to them as cucaracha, because they will spread and just create a big blanket. But they come in so many different colors. Here there's like some lighter ones as well, the multicolor. That's more like of a pink. Um, but the Zabrina has more of like a deeper purple and it looks very glittery. It is a very cool looking plant, definitely. And I think with them too, as in with Scindapsus, that glittery effect that you also see sometimes in like Begonia Rex and different plants like that, it's usually caused by something called blister variegation. Um, and so that is there's literally pockets, if I'm remembering correctly, how it happens, the mechanism. But it's like pockets of air that are caught between layers of the plant tissues and also like water and things like that that will reflect and it can cause like a glittery kind of look to it. It's a pretty neat um, thing and it gives them that really kind of glittery look to them. um it's very cool. What is my phone keeps vibrating? Oh. Yeah, yeah, they can get very leggy. I just continued to propagate with hope. Yep. That's what I was doing. So, I've tried hanging them, Tradescantias. So I've tried hanging them. I've tried putting them under grow lights. Um, and I always end up getting them really leggy. They start to idiolate, and I rotate them, and they're usually good for a little while, and then they're not. So I haven't figured out the trick for Tradescantia yet. And then I shifted to just keeping them in water and water propagations, and they were fine for a long time. I had a couple for years. Um, I even still have I have a not snake plant, sorry, a spider plant that I have as a water propagation. I've literally had that thing in water, I think, since like 2015 or 2016. Um, and it's a little plant. Um, so but it's been there. It's been there. It's watched the Tradescantia come and go. What happened, buddy? Maple's asking for food. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, now Jules is here too. Okay. They understood food. So yes, I will feed you. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. But yeah. But thank you so much, everyone, for hopping on and just hanging around and chatting. I appreciate it, and thank you so much. I got a lot of really great well wishes, and I really am so thankful. Seriously, thank you so much. Yeah, and on the road to recovery, getting there, a lot better than I was. So that's what's important. But thank you so much, everyone. Seriously, enjoy the rest of your Monday. I can't believe we're already in February. Enjoy the rest of your week, and please stay healthy. Stay healthy. I hope no one gets sick. Gosh, and thank you for hopping on and hanging out. I hope this was a good start to your week. Yeah, and enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you next week. And I'm gonna feed these little gremlins that are now staring at me because they want, yes, they want sustenance. But thank you so much, everyone. Ah, have a very, very good day. Bye, everyone.